200 years ago today, the then Prince of Portugal declared Brazil an independent nation. In celebration of the Bicentennial Anniversary, the Brazilian Association in Winnipeg is holding several events to build community and increase awareness of Brazilian culture.
Hi Ryan, I'm Maggie Demarchi. Most people knows me in the community. I'm one of the people who founded this organization, the Brazilian Association, as well as the Brazilian Council's Citizenship Council, and I have been always involved in the community, and I have been here in Winnipeg specifically for 18 years. And when we arrived here, there was not much, so we decided let's do something. So yeah, I am a normal citizen. I just love the opportunity to get people connected. Think that I didn't have when I moved to Canada like 22 years ago. So I think it's
Well, having groups for different diasporas is so important. When you show up somewhere, specifically if you're from another part of the world, like from far away, and you come here and there's no community, it can be hard to start this life and feel like, yay, I'm excited. It can be hard. So it's really cool to see organizations like the Brazilian Association of Winnipeg coming in to talk about or just, have that sense of community here. So last time we spoke, we headed on to CTV for EthnoFest. Have you had an opportunity to check out that video?
our video. I haven't. I just saw a picture that at the just after we finished, I got a picture on my phone from a friend, a picture from the TV saying, "Hey Maggie, I love what you're doing with the Brazilian community." He's a Canadian friend here. And I saw that one picture and I haven't seen anything else, but I did check the EthnoFest and look through several of the videos we have this year, and it's really, really nice. It's really great.
Yeah, we've got some great variety and a way more on the way. And if you want to see the video, we do have it on
Yeah.
our website.
I find this work that you Multicultural does fantastic, connecting these communities, because when we move to another country, like in our case, Brazilians, we miss that vibrant community and party and society that we live in Brazil. And here it is cold weather-like, but it's also people are a little bit more distant. And in Brazil, we are more connected, more hugging and kissing and being together all the time. So sometimes when you move in to this country, we may feel the psychological effects of the weather and the culture and the community. To have these friends that share this connectiveness is so important psychologically.
You're definitely right. It has a little bit more of a business, like interactions on the street have a little bit more of like a business, like, hi, how are you doing? Or even like friends and everything. It's like, hey, how's it doing? You don't like just come in like when we see people from like Europe or like South America, it's like, oh, hello, hello, we're here. How's it going? I missed you so much. It's exciting to see you again. And I think like Brazil's also a pretty multicultural country as well that people don't realize. I think there is the largest community of Japanese folks in the world, outside of Japan, there as well, which I think was pretty cool.
I have
never
to
knew
tell you
that.
something funny that happened to me last week or this week. I had a problem with our Zoom account, so I called the customer service. And because of the name of the association, the guy spoke with me in Portuguese. And I told him, he started saying words like obrigada, bom dia, things like that. And I said, where are you in right now? And he said, I am in Japan. And I am a Japanese. And I thought, whoa, that's, it said, no, I lived in Brazil, in São Paulo for some time because of my community there. And I learned Portuguese and then I came
There
back
you go.
home. So I think it's really amazing. And we can have Italians like another, like German. You can go to cities in Brazil, in the south of Brazil, and speak German and you're fine. Like that's what they speak there.
Yeah, it is really fun when you learn about a country and you find about their multicultural aspect As well. I think it's a lot of countries that were founded by immigrants. Brazil was, with like the Portuguese and everyone coming over. But it's so cool just like seeing the vibrant cultures within countries that you never
Yeah,
expect.
definitely.
So there's some really exciting news happening this week, Maggie. What can you tell me about what is going on?
Well, Brazil is celebrating the bicentennial anniversary, the anniversary of when Brazil became Brazil an independent nation. And we do celebrate every year. We just this year doing a little bit more. Like we're doing more things to I don't know, put Brazil name on the Winnipeg map.
Can you give me a little taste of what the Brazilian anthem sounds like?
Ouviram do Ipiranga as margens plácidas de povo heróico e brado retumbante. It's beautiful.
Oh,
It talk about our colors, like the green, yellow, and blue colors, and our fields and our riches, gold and things like that. It's in talk about a strong people that would go to protect their country, and it's beautiful.
200 years. Like, Brazil's a relatively young nation then, still.
Yeah, well, independent nation yet, but we have been there for a while. My city itself has 450 years.
450. Okay, yeah. Let me rephrase that. Of it being independent, so it's pretty
Yeah.
new in that
Do
aspect.
you know some of us still
I
think
guess Canada is very young as well.
he's a baby? We think that we are not really independent. Like our country has so many issues that are attached to not.
Yeah, we're still very involved in like the crown and everything still.
Yeah, but anyways, I I I love my country. I love Canada. I feel that I have two nations, two lands, and I'm happy to be here. I love going back visiting, but this is my house now. But I love the country and the beautiful people we have there, and that's why we do these things for them. So we start by raising the flag, and then we move on to the parties. And I think that that's the part that people like the most. So we have a few things.
Of course, who doesn't love a good party? What else can you tell me about what's happening?
Yeah. On the 8th, we have a very special thing that, well, it's a simple thing, but it's good because we are together. But we have a conversation with the police. And people ask, well, why the police? There would be so many other interesting things to do. Well, it's a very interesting aspect when you come here, is how you deal with the law. The law is different. And we have heard about people who got in trouble because they didn't know that what they were doing were wrong, right? And they didn't know what was going on because they didn't understand the language, and they got in trouble for that. So uh, there are so many little things in the way that we deal with the police that is different there than it is here. Like, first of all, I trust the police here. I have to tell you experience that I have with the police here I will treasure. And from my experience with the police in Brazil, I have a post-traumatic stress disorder related to that. Like sorry, I feel sorry to say this about my own country. It's not everybody. Like there is corrupt police everywhere. You see the US.
In every country has its problems. Like Canada, we're going through some
Yes,
stuff
but
right now.
I wouldn't trust. Like I told the policeman here, if I am flagged by the police to stop in a place that is no one, I'm not gonna stop. They were gonna take me to jail, but I will keep going until I see a safe place. Because I would never stop in Brazil. It's like everybody has a different experience, and I have some bad experience. So, and a lot of people see a little bit of corruption. If the guy stop you and stop your car because you have a broken light and you give them some money, then it's nobody sees is okay. And people could do that practice here because that is so common, and you would be
Yeah.
forever toasted, right? So, I imagine.
You're like, oh, sorry about that, officer.
I hear
Here's
six
some
pack of a
cash.
beer here for you to enjoy with your friends. In Brazil, that would happen. I'm sorry. And I feel sorry because
Yeah,
I'm saying
wouldn't
something.
fly too great out
Yeah,
here.
and also you would get out of the car and go to the back of the car to talk to the guy, and you wouldn't do it here, right? So there are so simple things, and there are things that people don't understand. That he can get them in trouble, like threat, threatening somebody. Is that a word,
Oh,
right?
like threatening
Yeah,
someone?
saying I'm gonna kill you. In Brazil, this is like a expression that is some when you are
Oh yeah,
mad.
kind of
I'm
like
gonna
just
kill you.
like a slight little jab, like
Yeah,
buddy, yeah, I'm gonna get you. I'm
yeah,
gonna.
but here you say that, you are toast. Even if you say that, like the expression, like the jag in social media, you cannot do that. You're in Canada, you watch out. Other thing like domestic violence, right? In some, and not that in Brazil we have, like everywhere you have, but here it's treated different, right? So many little things that people don't know. And now how you deal with the scams, like I don't remember, like I come here like 20 years ago. I don't remember how pervasive was the scams. But today, I mean,
Oh yeah.
they call me from the police all the time, saying they're taking to jail or this Canadian revenue. My social security number is
Or like,
canceled.
I'm from the FBI. You have an outstanding. It's like the FBI. I'm in Canada. What? I actually had one the other day where I was trying to contact someone for an ongoing project we have. So I messaged their Facebook, and then they kept being like, "Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Did you get this money from here?" And I'm like, "What?" It's like, "Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I got it too. Just click the links." And I'm like, "I'm not clicking the links." They're like, "Oh, I need your help." And I'm like, "Okay, what is it now?"
Yeah.
I sent you a code to reset my Facebook. I need your help. I need you to do it. And I'm like, no, no. So I looked at my email address and like, sure enough, there's the verification code for my Facebook. And it's like, no, 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 I'm not letting you into my Facebook
A lot of people fall
account.
for those.
Well, if you're not aware or if someone's slightly older, you're not they're not as savvy about the internet or the internet culture. So those things are like, "Oh yeah, I'll help you out. Oh, sure, I'll click this link that someone sent me." Yeah, you're right. That's very important to
Yeah,
be
so
aware
that
of.
was what we choose to be an important conversation and an important value to add to the community, the opportunity to talk to the police and the opportunity to ask their questions and say what they feel, what they want to know, and what to do in which situation, right? Can you have a pepper bear with you? Pepper spray with you,
Bear
bear
spray.
spray, things like that. I never knew that was illegal to carry a bear spray with you. I could be in trouble because I was had one, right? But I had sweet experience with the police. On one day I was crossing Portage Avenue and I just did it with a traffic light red. I didn't notice. I don't know where my brain was. I just crossed the road and the police stopped right
I
there at the traffic side, waiting to make a left or something. And I just did it, realized in the middle of the action, saw the police there. He stopped the car, wait for him to come, and he I opened the thing, and he looked at me and said, "Are you okay?" With such a tender voice, was a very young cop, and "Are you okay?" And I thought, oh my gosh, this is so comforting seeing this guys is not already taking me right to jail, give me a
well, in
ticket.
most situations like that, I guess they don't see the person, go through and then be like instantly pull over
Yeah,
themselves.
they just thought I was going through something. And I just had my mind somewhere and I was just crazy to
It's like
get
my mind was just in another plane of existence for this
everything was
moment.
fine. But seeing like people need to get in contact with the police and know the police is here for you. Right. The police is your friend. The police is really to protect the community and you can count on them. And that's the message. And I thought it was important for people to have this moment. Now, this was the eighth, right? On the 9th,
Yes.
we are planning to have this party at the beer can. We had a couple of weeks ago with Marco Castilho. He created this nice Brazilian night with people dancing and Brazilian music, and the beer can offer specific food that is common in Brazil, in the bars in Brazil, and Brazilians in general like beer and alcohol, etc. I don't drink at all, but hey, my community loves it. So
Hey, there are people out there that do enjoy a good drink every once in a while.
we are gonna have this party with Brazilian music and Brazilian dishes, and people for people to enjoy. The couple of days ago, a couple of weeks ago, think 2 weeks ago, well, it was really successful. Everybody was liking it, and we said, hey, let's try to do that again for the community. And I think it's the last day of the beer camp because they close for the
Oh
summer.
yeah,
Yeah,
seasonal
after the summer.
operations.
And we plan already the same groups and the same activities for next year. We are gonna already set with them next year to make more of those nights during the month of September. So we are just starting. We are just finished the pandemic recently, so we didn't do a lot, but now we are gonna start doing more, hopefully.
Yeah, kind of building it up again, getting the community back together, celebrating. And I know you were telling me there's also another thing happening over the weekend. There's
Oh,
just so
yes.
much.
Saturday is our biggest event. We are going to have a picnic starting at 1 p.m. at the Assiniboine Park, with sites 1 and 2. We are having simple things like the picnic itself. People gather their own group, their own friends, and they just scatter them around the park. We rent these 2 sites so we can be more closer to each other, and we're gonna have probably some barbecue and food that people will bring, like picnic potluck kind of. We are gonna offer free drinks to them, and do you know those machines that make candy, cotton popcorn? We're gonna have one of those.
Oh,
Yeah,
cotton
for
candy. Yeah,
people who
yeah, yeah.
arrive there, they can have it for free as well. Uh, for the first 2 hours, we have those things going on from 1 to 3 probably, and then at 3 we're gonna have a big debut of the Brazucas, the Brazilian female soccer team. We are practicing.
Because we all know Brazil loves
Yeah,
soccer. Do you call it soccer or
we call
football?
football.
It seems like most of the world
Well,
calls it
it's the foot
football.
on your ball, right? Not this the football here, that the foot is actually in your hand. So, but anyway, the soccer team was created recently and is more an opportunity for the women to connect. We are not there really to play soccer, but we do play soccer. It's funny, it's beautiful, it's nice. But this group is for women to connect and to move, to exercise. During the winter, we are going to be training and participating in these leagues. And this is for us to get to be together, to move our bodies, to like I am over 50, right? I'm 56. I'm the grandma of the team. We have some girls just over 20, right? We have mothers and potentially grandmothers playing. But it's for fun, it's for us, it's for our body, for us to move, for us to be together. It's fun. And I think it was great. It was just created some months ago, and we have been training. Today we are training at Nathaniel and Taylor soccer field. We do train there a few a lot, like now during the summer. And then we're gonna move to a enclosed place, but it's fun. We're gonna be playing. We have 2 teams. I'm the goalie. Watch for me. I hold the balls, and I we will be playing starting at 3 p.m. at the park, right? On Saturday the 10th. And we're gonna it's a time for people to gather to meet. We have a lot of people who arrive here every week, especially now in September for school, right? For university, for they come a lot for degrees, post graduation, like masters, doctors, right? Degrees. And so this time of the year, a lot of people new here are coming. So it's an opportunity for these people to connect to people who are here already, right? To know, how to live here, where to find the shoes for the winter.
What are the best places to go to? What are the best places to eat? Like, where should I be going for clothes?
Exactly. So this is an opportunity for connecting, right? And for meeting the people who have been here before. So basically that's what it is, and we are excited. We are excited for more people to come, and we get a lot of non-Brazilian people in our parties. We do a couple.
I was just about to ask who can all come to these sorts of events.
Yes, there are people. We Somebody suggested in our last event that was in July. We had a big party. It was fantastic, and people said, "Okay, maybe we should have a sign to give to people, English, please." Because we talk to them and go to Portuguese and don't even know that they are not a Brazilian, because we cannot recognize by the color of their skin,
Oh
right?
yeah, you just need little name tags to be like, oh, Portuguese or like English. Like that way you can just be like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
this
because
language.
I'm telling you, you cannot tell a Brazilian by how they look. Because the people who come from the South, if they don't
The
open their mouths, you
multiculturalism
don't know
again.
that they are not Canadian. They just look like white, blonde, and blue-eyed, blah, blah, blah. So you can't identify they're not Brazilian. Only when they speak that you figure it out. They have some kind of accent. But yeah, so we want to have everybody who wants to join us to be with us. We are fun people to be around, friendly, and
So Brazilians' Day of Independence. What sort of celebrations would you do in Brazil? You know, when we celebrate our Canada Day, we usually like at least here in Winnipeg, people go down to the Forks. Other places, you know, there's activities and things. People will. Some places have fireworks, and I know now we're starting to transition to more kind of indigenous awareness and
yeah.
indigenous knowledge. Like this year at the Forks, people could go and make different bracelets and things and find out about the indigenous folks that lived
Yes.
here and live here. So, what sort of events and things would happen in Brazil for this momentous event?
Well, first of all, we enjoy the holiday like everybody here does too, right? Some people just take a chance to go away and rest and right. But the most common civic event that we do is to see the parade, right? We have the military, all the people who were right to defend the country, the army, everybody, and they have this beautiful parade, and people go and watch it. I remember watching the parade when I was a kid, and that's something that happened everywhere in the country, right? And we do have normal parties in the street with shows, music, right? Normally in the center of the town, that is like we do here, right? Put the music out there and people gather and watch the show and dance and party. And so this happened all around Brazil, and we hope that later we are going to have more as the years come and the community grows. We can have maybe one of those things like
Oh, like a nice fun block party or like have
exactly
music and
block
things. I think
parties.
that would be really fun. You know, you're just walking around your community, you're like, what's that sound? What's that smell? What's going on over there? And it's, people gather, they come in, they come visit, and then they can learn more about
Yeah.
Brazil.
But the good thing for us is there are so many things happening. Like the manifest is happening this week, right? So what we plan to do in further next year and the years to come is to put more of Brazil inside of the Canadian parties. Like the manifest, we can have a group, an area for like populated by the Brazilian. We have a lot of vendors. We have a lot of people who sell stuff, who make cakes, who make sweets, who make the Brazilian salty stuff that we eat there. So have a portion of the manifest with the Brazilians, instead of just creating our own block party, just get one because they
Yeah,
happen at the
joining into
same
these other
time.
events. Yeah,
We do
exactly.
not need to be Brazil inside Canada and so separately. We just mingle with the other and say, here we are part of Canada because we choose to live here, right? And just participate more of the events that are already there. And the role of the association is try to introduce the Brazilians to the other activities. We did in the past before. We took a lot of our artisans to events here as the Brazilian Association, and that's what we want to do more and more to engage more our people, the Brazilians, in the Canadian society in general. That's our role. We believe to promote our culture. helping people to accommodate and learn and adapt to this culture, because we are not in Brazil. We speak English, and we need that if you want to move ahead in this country, right? So we want to be us, but helping people ours to adapt this new place that they are in. And that's our role.
Yeah, so to connect to Canada, but also celebrate Brazil.
Yes, to give you what we have that is wonderful and get from you the things that you have that are wonderful. Like, for example, when sometimes we go to Brazil, we think I couldn't live here anymore because there are things that I don't adapt to this anymore. And I choose that I don't want this for me anymore. So that's why I will live here, right? So many people have this experience when they try to go back and they figure it out that I love a lot of this, but there are things that I think that I really prefer to live there in Canada. So I think it's important that people can uh, get these things from Canadians, like the respect for other people's life, the respect for other people's privacy, like the care for the human being. We see so much. I see so much more here, right? Like this care, this non-judgmental, right, way to live in a society that is so diverse of people from different choices, right, is much bigger here than in Brazil. And we can certainly learn from Canadian. I love being Canadian, by the way.
And there's things Canada can learn from Brazil. It's
Exactly.
always a
As a
give and
change,
take.
right? Is a sharing, is
Yeah.
yeah, in an
Always moving forward. Well, Maggie, it has been an absolute pleasure talking with you and really excited to see these events coming here in Winnipeg. Where can people go to find out more about the Brazilian Association and as well as these events that'll be taking place over the week?
our Facebook page is the place now. Our site is down for temporarily, but Facebook page Brazil, BRASIW. And I always tell people it's Brazil is W at the end because they think about the name Brazil. It's with S and L, Brazil. We just put the W at the end because it's Brazilian Association in Winnipeg. Right. So you go to Brazil with W at the end, you will find us on Facebook and Instagram, and you'll be just showing there.
Have a story you'd like us to share, or communities we should highlight? Leave a comment on our social media or reach out to us on our website. I'm Ryan Funk. This was You Talk, and have yourself a good one.